Hey everybody, welcome back to the Magic Channel Card Tricks. Today we're going to talk about sponge balls, not card tricks. Why? Well, because one of the things I promise on this channel is to be able to teach you beginning level magic. And if you were given a magic kit for Christmas or your birthday, chances are they threw some sponge balls in there and you thought to yourself, oh great, I've seen sponge ball routines, they look awesome. And then they've only given you written instructions. And it can be difficult for a beginner, especially someone young, to learn sponge balls just from what's written down. So I thought I would go over a couple of sponge ball basics for you, and hopefully we can get to the point where we can work these into a routine. Because I don't want you to have magic tricks that are in your box that you can't use, okay? Everything that you got in your magic kit, you should be able to do something with them. And I think another one that you see in magic kits a lot is cups and balls, right? And I think that's another one. Cups and balls is hard to learn when you don't have some sort of teacher or some sort of video to follow. So, sponge balls, you might have seen a routine on TV or the internet. And to be honest, it's a very old magic trick, probably been around for 80 years. And nobody really knows where they come from. We saw them first started to be marketed back in the 1930s by a magician named Joe Berg. So they've always been pretty fun though. And I have some sponge balls by Gosh, okay? And they're just these bright red balls, right? And mine actually did come with some instructions, right? But these are the instructions. Just a little piece of paper. That's it, right? And it's really not going to help you. So I want to give you some tips first to help you and some things that you could practice. We're not going to jump right into any tricks today, but I want to give you some things that you can practice. And the first of which is I want you to start walking around with a sponge ball in your hands, and I want you to keep it hidden from other people so they don't know that you have it. And it's pretty easy because sponge balls can get really small, right? They can get really tiny. So I want to teach you 2 sponge ball sleights, maybe even 3. Maybe we'll do 3. So the first thing I want to show you is the sponge ball finger palm, okay? So I have my 3 balls out like this, okay? But I have a 4th ball that's palmed in my hand. And to palm a sponge ball, you're going to do it just like that, okay? It should be resting here in the 2nd and 3rd finger in your hand. It should be resting at the base of that 2nd and 3rd finger. And the rest of the fingers should be curled inward toward the palm, like that. So that if you held your hand like this, okay, you could gesture like this, and it should look like you have nothing in your hands, right? The other hand can open occasionally, and you can actually use this palmed hand to point with. For some reason, people don't think you can point and hold something at the same time, but you can. And I know the sponge ball might be a little big for you, but that's the point, is I want you to practice holding it in your hand in a way that covers the sponge ball completely so that people don't see it. And you could do just like I'm doing right now. You could put a phone on or your Kindle or your iPad, and you could face the camera towards you. And then you could just look at the camera and practice holding this in finger palm, all right? And really, you could walk around the house like this. You could walk around the house with a sponge ball in finger palm and keep it down by your side, bring it up, and just see how long you can go throughout the day doing normal activities, and see if anybody catches you with the sponge ball in finger palm. Obviously, I don't want you to walk right up to your mom and say, hey mom, does this look weird? Do you see anything? Don't do that, because then she's looking, right? But if you're acting casual about it and you're just holding it in your hand, I bet you could fly through a lot of your day with nobody noticing the sponge ball in finger palm. And of course, you're probably gonna practice on your dominant hand. So a good idea is to practice on your other hand as well. This hand won't feel as comfortable and won't feel as natural, but you should practice, okay? And like I said, practice in front of a mirror, right? Practice in front of a mirror and just practice moving your hand in different positions and seeing if you can see the ball. So that is a finger palm. The second sleight I want to teach you is called the thumb clip. Okay, now the thumb clip is unique because it's going to allow you to have your fingers open. Whereas the finger palm, your fingers are closed, right? The thumb clip allows you to have your fingers open. So what you're going to do is the thumb is going to apply enough pressure on the ball so that it's held tightly between the edge of the hand and the inner side of the thumb. And this method of palming the ball allows for a clear view between your fingers, which is why some people prefer this one over the finger palm. And really, it's just a thing that you're doing to apply pressure, okay? You're going to just trap it right there, and as you apply pressure, your hand can stay open just like that, okay? And again, this is something you could practice. You could practice holding the sponge ball in thumb clip, okay? And see how long it takes for someone to notice you have it in your hand. And really, the best way is, now that you know two sleights, practice them together. So maybe if this hand was by your side, right, you could show your hands empty. And as you came up, you could go into a finger palm. And then if you were going to go down and pick something up, you'd see if you could go into a thumb clip, right? Because now that enables you to pick something up. And then you go back into finger palm again. So I would practice moving between those two sleights until you get it natural. And like I said, practice walking around the house like that. Practice walking around the house like this, or practice walking around school, right? Take one sponge ball to school and just see how long you can do things naturally without calling attention to the fact that you have a sponge ball in your hands. All right, so you've learned the finger palm, you've learned the thumb clip. How could you put those two things together? Well, you can learn another thing called the pinch, or the double pickup. And that is where you've got a sponge ball in palm, or you've got it in a thumb clip, and then you reach over and pick up another ball. The spectator will think you have one ball, but in reality you have two. So let's say you've got a sponge ball and you've got it in a finger palm just like this. You're going to come down and pick up another ball. And how I do that is I just move it from here to here, okay? And the great thing about sponge balls is they're squishy, right? So that allows you to pick up more than one without anyone noticing. So if you're in a palm like this, I'm going to reposition like that, come over, pick up my other sponge ball, take that one, mush it next to the other one. Mush is a real magical word. Wave my hands, do a little shake, and then I have two, okay? And you can do that same exact effect with a thumb clip. So I've got a thumb clip here, okay? And I'm gonna come down and pick up another ball. So again, it looks like you have nothing, right? But I've got it in thumb clip, pick up another ball, move it into my hands and squish it up, give it a little shake, and then you have two. So that's a lot to practice, actually. That is a lot to practice for a first lesson. Practice your finger palm, practice your thumb clip, and then once you've got those down to where you think you can do it naturally, then I want you to practice your pinch and do your double pickup. And then those are some key essentials for starting off with sponge balls. That's everything I can show you today, and that should be enough to get you started. Practice, 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 right? Practice all the time, and be sure to keep these tricks a secret. Don't tell anybody how the tricks are done, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.